This is the story of a 10-year-old girl in Florida who is obsessed with one TV show, Survivor. Season 2 to be exact. The season that brought the longest gameplay in series history and is still my favorite season. A season that first interested me in Australia and a lifelong obsession with wanting to visit. So, with a lifelong obsession such as mine, why did I wait until now to go? I've been on many solo backpacking trips to Europe, but why wait on Australia? Well, the need to have a conventional life track in my early to mid-20s, finances, and 2020, all got in the way. But I've saved up, battled through nearly a year-long foot injury last year, and waited for the right time to head down under to visit the country I've been obsessed with since I was 10. So this trip is for that 10-year-old girl. I hope I make her proud. Welcome to the Australia series. Hello and welcome to another backpacking trip. If you don't know who I am, my name is Katie. I am a solo female backpacker and this is my 6th backpacking trip. And guys, I'm not in Europe. I'm in Australia. Finally made it here and I'm so excited, and it's been quite the journey, literally, but for different reasons. But it has been quite the journey to get here. But I'm in Melbourne to start, and I'll be traveling up the East Coast and also going to Tasmania. And I'm very excited. So I arrived here after like 32 and a half hours of flying 3 flights. But I arrived here just around 1 o'clock local time, 1 p.m. And so I'm showered, I'm a new woman, put a little bit of makeup on, and now I'm just gonna go walk around for a bit, and I'll really hit the ground running tomorrow, but feeling okay right now. I will talk a little bit more about the flight and such another time, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but anyway, I can't believe I'm saying this, welcome to Australia. I can't believe it, but anyway, we're gonna have a leisurely afternoon, and I'm gonna take you along with me. Honestly, I did not have jet lag. I know, hate me if you will, but I really didn't have any jet lag. Maybe because I slept like about 8-9 hours on the plane. But
Since I had some energy, I decided to go out and explore for a little bit. So my first stop was to the Shrine of Remembrance. And the shrine is Victoria's national memorial honoring the sacrifice and service of Australians in both war and in peacekeeping. It's really an iconic place to visit in Melbourne, and I highly do recommend a visit. Admission is free, and if you go inside, there's actually various exhibits you can go and learn more about, honestly, the military in Australia. If you go up and outside, you can have a very nice view of Melbourne. So definitely do recommend that. In a little bit of time at the shrine, I just walked around for a bit. I found this cool little waterfall park area called the Grotto, and I just chilled there for about a half hour before heading back home and chilling for the rest of the night.
Hello, it is April 28th, and I'm here in Melbourne. And I've spent the morning just kind of leisurely walking around, and I'm in kind of the downtown central business district, but I'm just kind of in this where the rowing yard is, along like the South Bank walk, something like that. But anyway, as you can see, it's a little cloudy, not the nicest weather, but that's okay. So like I said, this morning I ran, and then I went to Flinders Street Station, which is somewhere over here. It's like right over here. And then I've just been walking. Now I'm gonna head back over the bridge there, and go to the like movie or art, not the art museum, but it's like motion picture art museum. And there's a cathedral. I come all the way to Australia to come look at cathedrals, I know. But it might rain, so it gives me something to do in the rain. And then I might check out some of the other arcades. So I will bring you along. But like I said, welcome to Melbourne. So like I said, it's also a little cloudy, but that's okay. Making the best of it.
On my first full day in Melbourne and in Australia, I went into the Melbourne CBD, or Central Business District, and I went to a couple of places. So the first place I went to is Flinders Street Railway Station, which is the second busiest train station in Australia. Super pretty, super iconic, but what I recommend is going down the street, down the sidewalk, to a 1970s photo booth that was one of the first photo booths put in Flinders Street. I will leave a link in the description, which has more history about this photo booth. It's really interesting. But honestly, for $8, you can get a really cool souvenir, like a little photo strip, and I definitely recommend checking it out. My next stop was to the ACMI Museum, which is the Australian Centre for the Moving Image, and it's Australia's National Museum of Screen Culture, located in Federal Square. It highlights the universe of film, TV, video games, and art. And the best thing, admission is free. We love a free thing. They also do have rotating exhibits that you can pay to go visit. I personally didn't on my visit, but maybe next time I'll see what's on exhibit and check it out. But it's really cool because there's all sorts of interactive experiences that you can go and you can learn more about the history of filmmaking and the different tricks and techniques and video games. Like, they have one of my favorite video games from my childhood, The Simpsons. Really, really cool. Highly recommend to visit. And I spent a couple hours there. Finally, my last main thing of the day was to go and visit St. Paul's Cathedral. It's really close to Flinders Street Station, but it's a cool church. I mean, I didn't come all the way to Australia to look at churches. It's more of a Europe thing for me, but it's really beautiful, and I definitely recommend checking it out for a few minutes. And again, if it's raining, might as well, right?
Hello, good morning. It is Saturday, and today I am headed on a tour to Phillip Island with a tour company. I actually booked this last night because originally I was going to do it on Sunday, but I decided it's a beautiful day, let me do it today. So I have to go walk to Base Backpackers, which is a hostel here in St. Kilda. I had to walk down there. It's like not even a 10-minute walk to get picked up. My bus, or the pickup is at 12:10, so it is, the clock's not right. I want to say it's about, let's see, it's 11:33, so I have a few more minutes until I need to start heading down there. But yeah, I got some good sleep last night, and just woke up this morning, did some stretching and all that, so I'm excited for today. If you don't know, Phillip Island is where there's like a conservation like facility there, or it's I'll go do a voiceover exactly what's there, but it basically, the main attraction are the little penguins that run around. I don't know if they go into the water or out of the water. Tells you, I have done research, I promise, I just can't remember. But the little penguins at sunset, they do their little run, so that's like the big thing. But we're also going to the Moonlit sanctuary on the way there, and we get to see like koalas, maybe some dingoes and kangaroos, which I'm very excited about. The kangaroos, I feel like a lot of people come here and they're more excited about koalas, which, don't get me wrong, I am excited, but I'm very excited to see, hopefully feed a kangaroo. So anyway, that's my day. I will take you along with me. I'm not sure if I'm going to be comfortable vlogging out in public, but we will see. We're trying because I don't want every video to be voiceover. But anyway, welcome, and we're gonna have a fun day.
As I mentioned, that day I went on a day trip tour. I went with Go West Tours out of Melbourne, which was incredible. It was 145 Australian dollars for the day, and we had 3 stops. The first stop was to the Brighton bathing boxes, which I go back to later in this vlog, so I'm going to skip over it for now. But our second stop was to the Moonlit Sanctuary Wildlife Conservation Park. And I didn't have a ton of expectations going into this wildlife park, but it was incredible. It's set up kind of like a zoo, but not really. It's more so focused on the conservation efforts, but you get to really see various animals such as kangaroos and koalas, dingoes, wallabies. You get to see them up close, and it's just really, really special. They also have wildlife talks, and they just teach you a little bit more so about the animals, and really a great stop. And again, like I said, I didn't have a ton of expectations, and I even got to feed a wallaby. Like, that's pretty cool. And don't worry, I do feed kangaroos later in this trip, but I was all about the wallabies right now. So anyway, definitely recommend. But after a couple of hours at the sanctuary, we then headed to Phillip Island. And Phillip Island is located just off the coast of Australia, and it's a really popular day trip location, and it's very well known for its penguin parade. So essentially, thousands of little itty bitty penguins come up on shore every night, and they go back to their homes. And it's just such a special experience, and it's one of those like nature's wonders sort of things, and I highly recommend to visit. If you go, just know you can't take photo or video once they're coming on shore, just because it can startle them, and then all their little bellies are full of like food and fish and such, and if you startle them, they might get sick, and then they might starve because they've spit up all their food. So definitely please respect that, but definitely recommend to visit. Such a highlight of my time in Melbourne. The next day, I had kind of a leisurely morning. I went for a run, and then I went back into the CBD, and the first stop was to the Rose Street Artist Market, which was a really cool market. Honestly, I didn't buy a ton here. I bought like a few little knickknacks, but I just had so much fun talking with all of the various artists. Definitely recommend to visit. It's just a great vibe. Then I headed over to Carlton Gardens, where I just kind of chilled out for a bit. It was a beautiful day and perfect for sunbathing. Hello, happy Sunday. So I am here in Carlton Gardens, which is like a park area. And I'm just chilling here for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go continue to do some things. But this morning, or right around noon, I went to Rose Street Artist Market. Then I've just been walking down here, and now I'm gonna head to the State Library. Victoria Street Market or something like that, Docklands, and go check out some of the street art. So yeah, I am not comfortable vlogging in public. I'm trying to force myself to become more comfortable, but yeah, so that's what I'm up to. Just kind of having a leisurely Sunday, and I really like it here in Melbourne. I wish I had one more day, because tomorrow I'm going to be hanging out near my Airbnb in St. Kilda. Had a notification, but yeah, I wish I had one more day here. I think I shortchanged myself a little, but anyway, people have been really nice, and I've enjoyed myself here. So yeah, kind of sad to leave in a few days, but such is life and such is travel. So anyway, let's get to the next place and come along with me. After hanging out in the park for a bit, I walked over to the State Library Victoria, which is what it sounds like, the State Library of Victoria, Australia. It was established in 1854, and it is Australia's oldest public library and one of the first free libraries in the world. It's also Australia's busiest library and the world's fourth most visited library, which is pretty cool. Then I walked over to Queen Victoria Market, which is the largest open air market in the Southern Hemisphere, and it covers over 7 hectares or 17 acres, which is pretty mind-blowing. Then after wandering around Queen Victoria Market for a bit, I went over to the Docklands, and I honestly just kind of walked around. There's not a ton to do here unless you're like going to Marvel Stadium for like a concert or a game or something, but kind of a cool area to walk around if you have some time and it's a nice day like I did. Then I walked over to Hosier Lane, which is honestly really close to Flinders Street Station, so you can go over there the same day, but because I had really bad weather, I waited a couple of extra days. But anyway, this lane is really iconic, probably one of the most photographed places in Melbourne, but it's really well known for its graffiti and its street art. Definitely recommend a visit. However, if you want a place that's just a teeny bit quieter, I recommend ACDC Lane, which is still just as cool and just as iconic, but I was literally like one of maybe 2 or 3 people there, so really cool. Get some cool Instagram shots. Hi, good morning. It is Monday, my last full day here in the Melbourne area. Today I'm kind of just having an easy day. I am staying, I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm staying here in St. Kilda. So today I have to run an errand, and then I'm going to go to the Brighton beach bathing boxes, which if you saw earlier in the video, I was there the other day, but I'm gonna actually take more time there. And then I'm just gonna walk around St. Kilda beach, and I don't know, I may go into Melbourne, central Melbourne a little bit. I might go to the Botanic Gardens, I'm not sure though. But otherwise I'm just gonna do laundry, pack, and get ready, because tomorrow I leave here and then I'm renting a car and I am going to Grampians National Park and the Great Ocean Road. So yeah, I do wish I had one more day here. I think I did shortchange myself on days, but we hustled and we got stuff done, but yeah, I do wish I had one more day. But anyway, I'll take you along and we'll enjoy this last full day I have here. So when I was down here the other week, or not the other day, my tour guide was telling us that the average home price here in Brighton is 3.5 million Australian dollars. 3.5 million. And that's a lot. The average price, some are actually a lot are much more higher, but they're so pretty. But anyway, I'm walking to the bathing boxes. I just took the bus. So I'll show you them again. The bathing boxes are pretty iconic here in Brighton, and in order to own one, you have to live in Brighton. You have to be a resident, pay taxes, and then I believe they start at 300,000 Australian dollars, and they're very small, and there's no water. You can't stay overnight in them. Don't believe you can drink alcohol in them, and there's some other restrictions. But you know, on top of your $3.5 million house, why not have a tiny house on the beach? Honestly, they're probably more so for bragging rights, but they are cute, and we're gonna walk up and look at them all. So like you saw, I went back to the bathing boxes. I gave you some insights there. Definitely recommend, if you can, to go on a weekday versus a weekend, just because it was definitely very busy on the weekend, but there's barely anyone there on the weekday. But after checking out the bathing boxes for a bit, I walked around St. Kilda a bit, and then I started heading back towards my Airbnb. And you'll see here shortly, I actually ended up at Luna Park, which is very, very iconic. There's also another Luna Park in Sydney, which you'll see in a few vlogs. But Luna Park is definitely a great place to visit, as long as it's open. Because I went in the fall, and I think this was a Monday that I went, it was closed. But if you're there and it's open, definitely recommend taking a look and checking it out, and maybe riding a ride or two. But with that, it was time to move on to the next location, so you will just have to wait and see what that is. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to follow me on my social media channels. Everything is linked down below. But thank you so much. I'll catch you all next time, and remember to wander far and wander often.